Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Inside Artesian Football here on WREP 15 Sports. I'm your host, Eric Meyer, joined as always by Artesian head coach Fred Kutruff. The Artesians win the inaugural Battle of the M's on Friday night at a sloppy, messy, muddy Martinsville High School as the Artesians come away with the victory over the Pioneers in the downpour. When we come back with the coach, we'll talk about that contest, have a look at the highlights as well. We'll have a couple of offensive linemen in here with their coach Justin Byers, and we'll also look ahead to the Artesians' final regular season game as they battle the Plainfield Quakers. Up first, so we'll take a break and come back with the highlights from the win over Martinsville when we return inside Artesian Football.
For just 2% of a typical school's budget, high school sports give us plenty of energy and excitement. For just 2%, they also give us young people whose leadership and commitment to excellence will pay big dividends in our community for years to come. 2%. That's one investment we can all feel good about. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure launching pad for life.
Shop at Keller's Office Supply at 159 North Main Street in Martinsville for all your school and office supply needs. When you come to Keller's, you'll find superstore prices with hometown service. Keller's Office Supply offers same-day delivery for all your office and janitorial needs. And if they don't have your supplies in stock, why drive when you can call Keller's? They have over 35,000 unique and hard-to-find items that are available to deliver them to your door the very next day. Looking for new office furniture? John Lake and Keller's can design custom-made furniture to fit your space.
Come to Keller's. We'll treat you like family.
Back inside Artesian Football here on WREP 15 Sports. Coach, on Friday night, less than ideal conditions to play in. A great advertisement. If you ever want to be able to get field turf, that would have been the picture to show people that were against it, because it was a messy, muddy mess, if you will, to be redundant. And in fact, that field tough to play on. You guys were able to slop through it, though, in the early going, kind of get your traction. Give the ball to your big-time back, Kane Liscombe, at the end, kind of ran things away, and the Artesians come away with the victory on Friday night.
Yeah, that's probably, in all my years of coaching, I've never ever had a field that bad. It was just really unplayable. I thought maybe we should have played it on Saturday night, but, the kids had a ball. And what I really like about our kids is we've got a lot of good little athletes that want to touch the ball. And in that situation, we knew what we had to do, and we went to one guy, and he got all the carries with Kane Liscombe. But I thought Noah Davis and Dallas Forler and Spencer Clefane, those guys all just kind of, they understood, did their job, and that's, Mason, he did a good job of handling the snaps. I thought the unsung hero was probably Rap on his snaps. John did a tremendous job to not have a bad snap in that stuff. Was really pretty good. Now, we did go through, I think, 39 footballs, but you couldn't even throw it in there. So I'm just proud of our whole kids. And then the defense, you got a back like that that's waiting to squirt out of there. They have, that's a good back. So it was an interesting environment, but kids are going to love it, and they're going to remember it the rest of their life.
Coming with the victory, let's take a look at the highlights, and you'll be able to tell here early going. The jerseys are clean, but that does not take very long for them to get muddy.
Kane Liscombe did a good job. Had a little trouble there early, but like I said, we kept those dry footballs in there, and just like I think they had 14 bobbled snaps, lost 4. I never saw a team that could fumble and still get 6-7 yards. It just wouldn't bounce our way there early. But this is just a great. Kids are they're gonna remember this. This is kind of what you want to play in this type of situation at least once, and then play in the snow. So this was good for the kids, but this is a good job of Kane Liscombe just doing what Kane does, and really just holding on to that ball and know you're going to slide, so you got to adjust to that. This is Mason doing did a good job reading it, and he's as big as he is, has a little trouble getting footing anyhow, so let alone add the mud to it, but did a good job. Good defense, nice job there. And I said, and we give special thanks to Ron and Ed, our field guys. They got those uniforms clean, believe it or not. I think they're whiter than when we started, so they did a great job on those uniforms. Good screen here, but we only threw it 7 times. But I thought that was a big one there, and that was one of the few ones we could actually get off. There were just no footing, as you can see, and Kane doing a good job. This is a great effort here by Kane. He's tough to get on dry land, let alone this. And a big score there. We're still trying to figure out how John Zloty didn't get his uniform dirty the whole game, but he's pretty clean. But he was out there at wideout, but did a good job for us. That was Garrick John sliding there getting that tackle. You're probably going to be trouble getting that. This is Spencer Clefane. This guy got us a big first down. It was 3rd and long, and he did a good job of getting that for us. You can see how tough it is. Our line doing a good job getting in there. I said John Rapalo handling that snap and Mason catching it. That was a fiasco in itself right there. And I'm not sure how many footballs they had, but I think our Mr. Lips spending a little extra money on the footballs, it really paid dividends there in the end. I was thinking it was Bo Trimble. Bo Trimble really had a good game, having fun flying around. And I said, I can't tell who some of these guys are. I think that's Noah Davis. No, that's Houston O'Neill. It's just, good job here. Just a little toss down on the goal line. Linemen do a good job pulling. I felt sorry for the custodians. The locker room was probably about the worst I've seen it. I felt sorry for those guys who had to clean up after us, but it's over, and hopefully we don't have to do that for a long time again. And got a win, and it was good for the kids. A big conference win, and getting that trophy for the first time. Yeah,
that trophy is a big thing. You see them hoisting the trophy at the end there, so it's your inaugural Battle EM, and good to get that in the first time out. Martinsville with the big victory over the Mooresville Pioneers on Friday night in that muddy mess. We're going to take a break, and we'll bring in a couple of guys that you could see on the tape there. You probably couldn't make out their numbers. One of them, Coach mentioned, John Rapalo doing a great job at center. We'll bring in his coach as well, Justin Byers, and we'll talk to those guys when we return inside Artesian Football.
Tommy's not sure which sport he will play in high school someday. But no matter what he ends up choosing, playing sports in high school will help pave the way to a happier, healthier life. All Tommy needs to do is make up his mind. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport. Pure launching pad for life.
With Home Bank. And I'm Gordy Lucas. This is a great time to buy or build a new home or to refinance your current mortgage. If you're in the market for a home loan, give us a call or stop by one of our offices and find out why, when it comes to mortgage financing, there's no place like home. Home Bank is an FDIC insured equal housing lender.
Visit one of our 3 locations, the main office in downtown Martinsville, or one of our branch locations at Grand Valley or 1067 Bridge Street, Mooresville.
$5 foot long. $5 foot long. $5 foot long.
Come into Martinsville Subway and enjoy a $5 foot long today.
Welcome back, everyone, to Inside Artesian Football here on WREP 15 Sports. Well, we've had to zoom the cameras out in just a little bit as we bring in the offensive line coach, Justin Byers, along with a couple of his offensive linemen, David Lopossa, along with John Rapalo. Guys, appreciate you taking time to come in here and join us here today. Have a lot to talk about with them. Let's talk first about this little trophy right here. Coach Byers, it's the inaugural Battle of the M, and you guys came away with a big victory on Friday night over the Mooresville Pioneers.
Yeah, I was calling it the Battle of the Bog, Battle in the Bog, because we had to go to that marsh of a field that was tough playing conditions. I was really proud of my guys. First half we had some footing issues. Second half we really came out and took care of business. These guys really, credit to our seniors here, these two, John and Dave, 2-year starters now. Great kids, great guys. Took control of that deal Friday with their footwork, talked the younger guys through it, and we really pushed those guys around in the mud late in the second half and took control of that football game.
David, I know we talked earlier with Coach Kutruff about the contest, and he said that it was fun to be able to play, and you'd have to agree with him, wouldn't you?
I agree. It was really fun. I just enjoyed getting muddy. The win was just amazing to win that game, and considering the conditions.
Now, John, I know we talked with you a little bit, got you in class in here. Fun, I'm sure, sometimes, but you had a little bit more pressure to you, and maybe not as fun as some of the other guys had.
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. It was a really tough one to hold on to the ball. I mean, I had to use both my hands just to even place it on the ground. But once I got it down, everything else was just fun, just easy.
And, Coach talked about that, too. You got to be really proud of him because he did a great job with the snap. They put it on the ground 14 times, and a lot of that we actually saw in the highlights where the snap didn't even get off the ground. Looked like junior league out there in the normal conditions, just rolling it back to the quarterback. But John didn't have any of those problems.
It was really the key to the game. John did a great job. The shotgun snap, we feel, is a little better in that kind of condition because it doesn't have to come straight up so fast. The shotgun snap's more of a backwards pass where we want it off the ground as quick as possible and toss back there instead of sliding it to scoop it up and turn the ball midair in an under center snap. So we prefer that, and John did a great job. We were cutting towels on the sideline. I felt like a surgeon with scissors cutting towels at halftime, getting him dry ones, but real credit to John, the key to the game. Great job.
You guys come with a big victory. Now turning your attention to the Plainfield Quakers. Before we get to that, though, and talk a little bit about Plainfield, let's talk a little bit about what some of the things that the linemen do during the week. David, can you talk a little bit about some of the things, the drills, things you guys work on in practice each week?
Well, I mean, we mostly work on technique things. Coaches stress that a lot. They stress the little things involved in the blocking, not so much it is the blocking schemes, but it's mostly technique stuff, getting your hips down and everything like that.
John, what are some of the things I see the smile come to your coach's face, hearing things I'm sure he repeats over and over in practice. But, John, what are some of the things that you guys work on, some of the drills and things that you guys do each week during practice to try to get better and get ready to go?
Well, we always work on our hands. Recently they bought handcuffs to get our hands closer together so when we punch the chest, we hit directly at the chest. We work a lot of that. Footwork. We work a lot of footwork. We have ropes to help us, and also we do a drill to work on our hips, flexibility.
Coach, like I said, a smile to your face several times to hear them repeat things that I'm sure you've said over and over again. They've done a great job this year. And
to clarify, the handcuffs are the rubber wrist straps that go around. We're not handcuffing kids at Martinsville High School. I just want to make that clear.
You don't want to get a media ban again, do you? I didn't throw the question up to you, though. I threw it to John over there.
The rubber bands that go around the wrist, keep your hands in tight when you strike a punch with the pass blocking, right, John?
Yeah, Coach.
And, very proud of these guys. They do great in the drills. These guys, when we talk about that punch, it's a pass protection punch where you extend the hands. These guys are great at it. We recently purchased pop-up dummies too, which is what I thought you were going to say. And we've got a drill where you got to knock the pop-up dummy down and you keep punching it, move with it. And these guys are phenomenal.
So you punch some dummy with handcuffs on. That's basically what we're seeing right now.
You knock that dummy down, it pops back up, you keep hitting it. And these guys, they're head and shoulders above everybody else. They do a great job with it. And footwork-wise, hip flexibility-wise, credit to going to the weight room. These guys have been great in the weight room. Their attendance at speed school has been great. They're really great kids. They did everything we asked them here at Martinsville High School. I couldn't be prouder of my two seniors.
What do you guys, we got Plainfield coming up. It's your final regular season game. David, what's some of the things maybe you know about Plainfield, what you guys are going to have to do to be successful coming up on Friday night?
Well, Plainfield brings a lot of the stuff that we've already seen as far as teams that we played before. There are some adjustments. I mean, they're not very, they don't stun a lot. So I mean, that's kind of what we'll have to deal with.
And John, for you, in terms of you got Plainfield, your final regular season game. What are some of the goals, the things that you guys now, obviously, after you have Plainfield, that you guys want to try to accomplish here as in your senior year?
Well, mainly right now, I want to focus on Plainfield, just get that victory, and then just keep going. I mean, like you said, it's my senior year, and I just don't want to stop. And if we do stop, that'll suck. Just hopefully everything turns out for the best.
Coach, for you coming in, what are you guys going to have to do to be successful against Plainfield coming up on Friday night?
We had two great big 300-pound defensive tackles. I mean, they're big guys.
These two guys didn't bring that up.
John's going to have his hand full. Big John is going to have to get in there and bump bellies with these guys, get his hands inside and run his knees. We got to get those guys moved out of there to be successful. They're hard-flowing linebackers. We got to get on them, make sure we demeanor at second level, right? Yep. And get on those linebackers, run our feet, and things take care of themselves. When you do the fundamental things right, like these guys are talking about, we do in practice every day, the scheme's just icing on the cake. We know the scheme body on a body, and basically it comes down to footwork, hip level, technique, hands inside, run your knees, and get the guy out of there. And these guys feel confident they're going to do a good job, and should be fun Friday night.
All right, senior night coming up, guys. Appreciate you taking the time to join us. We'll see you out there on Friday.
Alrighty.
That's the offensive line, at least part of the offensive line here. We've got the head coach with Justin Byers, David Lopossa, and the center, John Rapalo, as well. We will take a break. We'll come back and wrap it up with a preview of the Plainfield Quakers, a little bit more of a preview from the head coach, Fred Kutruff, when we return inside Artesian Football.
For just 2% of a typical school's budget, high school sports give us plenty of energy and excitement. For just 2%, they also give us young people whose leadership and commitment to excellence will pay big dividends in our community for years to come. 2%. That's one investment we can all feel good about. High school sports. Pure spirit, pure sport, pure launching pad for life.
Shop at Keller's Office Supply at 159 North Main Street in Martinsville for all your school and office supply needs. When you come to Keller's, you'll find superstore prices with a hometown service. Keller's has a wide variety of supplies from paper clips to office furniture. They also have a large selection of printer cartridges to choose from. Keller's offers same-day delivery for all your office and janitorial needs. And if they don't have your supplies in stock, they can deliver it to you the next day. Keller's is a proud sponsor of the Martinsville community.
Come to Keller's. We'll treat you like family.
Back inside Artesian football with the head coach, Fred Kutruff, and Coach just had a couple of your offensive linemen in here, and Justin Byers as well. Their coach, they've done a tremendous job this year, especially had to do a great job in that game on Friday as well.
Well, it's big, especially when we do a lot of pulling, and they kept their footing, and then just the fact to scoop out and try to move guys in that mud. I think that's a credit to our offensive line. Our coaching's there. Justin's done a great job with them, and a lot of our success, all of our success starts right with that offensive line.
Offensive line doing a fantastic job. Before we get into the preview of the Plainfield contest, we usually always talk about the JV and Reserve as well, and we'll continue to do that this week. And they rolled also on Saturday over the Mooresville Pioneers.
It was actually playing on Monday.
Yeah.
Freshmen are undefeated. They're going for an undefeated season this Saturday, so it's been a good group. Really has improved. The coaches really talk about how much this group has gotten better, and Coach Cates was just talking about how intense they are in the weight room when they're in there lifting. So fired up about this bunch, but they improved, won 42-14, and hopefully Plainfield will be a tough one for them, but hopefully they'll finish up. We lost a good player. Josh Burleson broke his femur, but everything's okay. He'll be back in a couple months. And so they lost a really good player, but again, they're playing on that field. Didn't have anything to do with the injury, but it might be hopefully the way that Mooresville finally gets turf.
Right.
And then JV is now 6-2. They had a good win. I think the score was 44-0 over Plainfield, and Josh Rue did a good job. But we had a lot of different kids step up in that one, but so got some good football coming in the future.
end of the season coming up on Friday against the Plainfield Quakers. Then you get into the postseason. Before we get to Plainfield as well, they had the sectional draw came out on Sunday. You guys draw right out of the bat. Center Grove, the Trojans at Center Grove High School. And I guess if you're going to have to probably play Center Grove, you might as well play them out of the get-go.
Well, you've got to play them sooner or later, and it's going to be a challenge. And our kids, they know we've got nothing to lose. Nobody thinks we're going to win, and we'll worry about them next week. But I think our kids will come out fired up, and we'll see what we can put together. And we're going to focus on Plainfield.
Try to keep it rolling coming up on Friday night against the Plainfield Quakers. Let's talk a little bit about the Quakers. What are we going to see out of them on the offensive side of the ball on Friday?
Well, they're a good football team. They got a big line. They do like their scheme. They want to run the football, run some trap, some counter, you'll see the Catholic sweep, but they do a good job. They'll screen you when you don't expect it, so they do a good job. They got, I think, a really good running back, good quarterback, and a guy kind of reminds me of Michael Callan at White out there. Does a really good job. So they've got some tools. They got beat last week by Whiteland, but they had 4 fumbles themselves in that weather, so it cost them 19 points. So that being said, it's going to be a heck of a game. I think the offense, their offense is something we just, they're going to get a few because they've got, but we have to, just like we've done all year, get the stops when we need them.
On the defensive side of the ball, what are we going to see out of the Quakers?
Well, they're going to run they run a 4-4, and they pretty well. They'll stun a little bit. We'll see what kind of things they throw at Mason. But they've been content. We've had a really good quarterback in Hayden Northern, and they've been content just to kind of sit back and let him. Hopefully the quarterback makes a mistake. So they're not going to see a whole lot, but they'll be sound, and we'll have to work at it.
It'll be senior night. What are going to be the keys for you guys to come away with a victory on senior night, final regular season game on Friday?
Well, I think the biggest thing is getting off to a good start. The game that we Greenwood was a great game, and we got off to a good start for the most part. But it's just they're a good football team. Playing Central, we just really laid an egg. Start with the quarterback. So he's done a really good job. But he's got we always tell Mason move the chains, and good things will happen. So if we get that mentality, we'll be okay. But on the other side is we've got to get some stops early. Play physical. If we're going to get ready for the sectional, we got to up our intensity, and I'd like to really see those things develop this week.
All right, Coach. Appreciate it. We'll see you there on Friday.
Thanks.
Artesian head coach Fred Kutruff here inside Artesian football. Martinsville comes up. They wrap up the regular season Friday night against the Plainfield Quakers at home. I'd like to thank the head coach for coming in. For the head coach Fred Kutruff, along with Justin Byers and his offensive lineman, and Carl Van Dievender, who produced it, I'm Eric Meyer. We'll see you again next time inside Artesian football.